So I'm not really sure where to start with this video, because I've already made a video before talking about how Nioh 2 isn't really a good game, and first of all, no one watched, and no one really was willing to engage with my argument. So I do understand that when you talk about these types of things, people aren't really gonna engage in good faith, and they're just gonna leave their angry comments and not engage with whatever it is I said. I think that's normal, and because of that, I'm not really going to go too deep, or I'm not gonna put too much effort into this video, because I just understand that no one is really going to engage with it. But going back to playing Nioh 2, I have to admit, I dropped it for the first time I've played it, but for some reason I kept thinking about this game, and as a result I decided to just install it again. And as a result, I was hoping to kind of enjoy the game again. I was hoping to see something that I didn't see for the first time, but after playing through this game a second time, I have to say that everything that I've said in that video is completely true. I am going to double down on my beliefs that Nioh 2 really isn't a good game, because Nioh 1 was probably a 7 out of 10 game, very mediocre, or like very just bland and fine, but I saw the potential. But Nioh 2, going back to it, I can't help but feel like it's a worse game. So, for example, the story is bad, the characters are bad, and someone is gonna say something like, oh well, story isn't supposed to be good in melee-based gameplay, and I'm just always appalled and puzzled, because why do people say that? Like, why do people accept that when a game has good melee-based gameplay, that you can also have a good story or characters? That just pisses me off, because it's like this type of complacency that just gives us games like Devil May Cry 5, a game that is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to its gameplay and enemies and characters, which I love, but the story and the setting is just so bland and uninspired and boring that it just makes me wonder if they're the same team who made Devil May Cry 3. Because Devil May Cry 3 is, to me, the golden example of how you make a melee-based gameplay. The story is good, although simple, but very good and memorable. The cutscenes are amazing, with amazing cinematography, with amazing characters and story. Again, the characters are so fucking good, and the arcs they go through is insane, that to this day, I still think about how good that game was. And oh, guess what? The game also had amazing gameplay, and OST, and level design, so again, the story is bad and the characters are bad, and someone is gonna say that, oh well, it's not supposed to be good, and for me, just why? With that statement, you're just admitting that it's bad. Like, it's just stupid, so that just bothers me. Another problem that I have with Nioh 2 is that going back to it, and comparing it to the first one, I feel like the environments are just boring, repetitive, insane. I think Nioh 1 has some like pretty interesting levels, like that area where you fight Nioh. That's how do I say, it's that watery, rainy area with like a little lake around it. I still remember some of these areas, you know, that like a little underground area with like the statues. So you know, it puzzles me, because the first game had some pretty good levels that were very beautiful, but for some reason in Nioh 2 all the levels are just kind of boring, repetitive, at least from what I've played so far. You know, there's just like the same variation of destroyed Japanese battlefields, and they're like a variation of some ancient Japanese era building or whatever, and I guess that's the point. That's where the story takes place. But why does the game settle for that? Like, they could have literally made a historical accurate game with very interesting scenarios and fantasy elements, and instead of that, well, we just have the most boring, generic and repetitive environments I've seen in a game in a very long time. Now, I also believe like the enemies are kind of awful. I think their placements are awful. Like, for example, like they just intentionally bait you. Like, for example, there's like this level in the forest where you see a skeleton, and you go, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the skeleton, or I'm gonna aim at him, and oh wait, guess what? On my right side there's a fucking cannoneer that is gonna fucking one-shot me, or throw me off the cliff and just kill me. And the game is essentially filled to the brim with like these anti-player design decisions that it just puzzles me. It really does. Like, their placements are like so intentionally like toxic and fucking anti-fun that for me, I just don't understand. And every single one of these enemies are just like a mini boss, so it like takes forever to fight them. And to prove my point is, like, you spend so much time dodging or blocking or whatever that you can only get 1 or 2 hits in. which is fine, but guess what? That isn't really fun. It really isn't. And not only that, like this design philosophy, a lot of the enemies also have very inconsistent stun lock animations. So like you imagine that you are fighting an enemy and both of you are 1 HP, and one hit from any of you is gonna kill the other, and so you do. You go ahead and attack them. But oh wait, guess what? They just traded with you because they also have super armor and they don't stun lock consistently, which means that you were hoping that they would stagger and you're gonna like be able to just damage them and they weren't gonna hit you, but no, they just don't. They just pass right through your attack and they kill you. And oh wait, guess what? They also survived because for some reason they also are sponges. Fucking hell, sponges, dude. To like give you a proof of this, if you fight like one of those revenant guys, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. They block all the fucking time. The stamina regeneration is super insane. So again, more anti-player decisions. But what fucking pisses me off the most is that like they don't actually stagger consistently, even if I'm using the Odachi. Right, so a lot of the times they're just going to be trading hits with you, but because they have more stamina, they're going to trade and tank your first hits, they're going to stagger you instead, and they're going to do a second combo on you, so yeah. And they don't stun lock, so you can't finish a combo on them, or you can't attack them reliably. And guess what, the enemies in this game are also super aggressive, which means that all these aspects, like not stun locking, the aggressiveness, the stupid stamina bar that this game has, just the one shots, and the fact that they throw many enemies at you that feel like mini bosses, and you get to the point where again it's a very toxic gaming environment. It just really isn't fun, you know. And again, the rage bait and the trolling bait design, just I don't get it. Again, the first one had, I would say, perfect difficulty. You would still get 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, but at least with the first one, I felt like the game was way more fair, and the design system is also much better, because they also change how the game works when it comes to its like systems. Like for example, in the first game you only had 1 bar to destroy and then do a finisher, but in this game for some reason you have to destroy 2 bars to make the enemy do a finisher on them. So changing that and combining that with like everything that I've said, it gets to the point where it just isn't fun, because it just feels like they were like in their like board meeting room and they were just like fucking chuckling and like doing evil laughs, saying, you know what option, what mechanic can we add that is going to make the gameplay less fun and as frustrating as possible? How can we artificially implement a difficulty that is artificial and just pedantic bullshit? How are we gonna fuck over our players and show them how much we fucking hate them? That's just how the gaming design philosophy feels. Not fair difficulty, not good difficulty like, let's say, Kingdom Hearts 2 critical modes, Kingdom Hearts 2 data boss battles, the secret boss battles, for example. No, not like that. But rather, let's just add 50 million fucking elements that just make the play experience as cancerous and as non-smooth as possible. That's how the gameplay felt. And to essentially add on to what I'm saying, for some reason in Nioh 2 they decided to change how the stamina or like the stagger bar works. So in the first one you just break it once and then you can do a finisher, but for some reason in the second one you have to break 2 of them, which essentially means that it's not as fun. It's not as fun because like, again, the stamina in this system or in this game is much worse because of the yokai mist, which essentially like debuffs your stamina regeneration. The enemies have a lot of moves that can drain your stamina really fast, or just put a puddle onto the ground so they can like space you and control the space that you are fighting in. Yeah, there's like way too many of like these design elements that just make it so that it really isn't fun. Again, I'm gonna say that like when it comes to the design philosophy, this game is also inferior because the stamina is just bad. Again, in the first game it was also bad because I believe that like the Souls-like elements are awful. I think games need to stop following and copying the Souls-like formula and instead follow a more infinite possibility formula like Devil May Cry, for example. But for some reason, well, Nioh just had to be a Souls-like, and for some reason Nioh just had to have motherfucking stamina and a very shitty upgrade system that is just stupid. because these stats barely fucking matter in this game. If you like spec into health, well, you're still gonna get one-shotted. If you spec into like stamina or whatever and get more heavy armor, you're gonna get 1 to 2 shots. So again, this game also is stupid in that element design, because there's no reason for this game to be a Souls-like. Like, literally no fucking reason. And to prove my points, in Nioh 3, from what I've seen, they're adding a jump button. So, yeah, looks like they're trying to be Devil May Cry, which is what they should have done from the beginning, instead of just copying Souls-like design. So, right off the bat, the design elements and the difficulty is just inferior to the first one. And just bad in general, you know, because stamina debuff isn't fun. There's items to alleviate it, but just I'm not getting into that. It's just not fun, and it's not done in a good way. And another like proof of this is the progression or the experimentation. So in the first game, let's say that you wanted to try out a different weapon. Let's say you use like the dual swords, and then you want to change for the Odachi because you didn't like them. Well, in the first game it's fine, because all those points that you have accumulated can be respecs, and then you can put them into any weapon that you fucking want, right? Perfect experimentation system that like allows you to experiment, and you're not fucked for trying to experiment with different weapons. But guess what? In the second game, these fucking retards had the genius idea to lock weapon progression to each unique weapon. So let's say that you didn't like the sword, and you want to switch to the dual sword, and you didn't like the dual sword, and you want to go for the Odachi. Oh, you want to do that? Oh, I'm so sorry, get fucked. Why? Because now those points are locked into that weapon, which essentially means that progression and just experimentation is not only downgraded, but also discouraged, because you are actively punished for experimenting. Because now, if you respec, you can't change those points. So right off the bat, that system is also worse. So I just don't get it. And again, what's up with like the 2 bars for like a finisher? It just feels redundant. Like, what's up with that? So yeah, like all I can say is like this game is just kind of bad. Like again, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm missing something. Like again, go watch my streams, or like subscribe, because like I'm gonna start streaming this game to completion. But it's just like I wonder, like, am I missing something? Because I'm not a normie. Like, I've played so many fucking games. I'm like literally cracked at video games. I'm a fucking gods, you know, because I don't talk to a woman. And the less you talk to a woman, the more power you have in this game. Joke, obviously, but like, again, I'm really good at these games. So like, I don't think I'm missing anything. It's just like this design feels like this. So like, yeah, I don't get it. It's just it just puzzles me. Like, every single decision is just a step down from the first game, and every single decision feels like it is made out of spite. It feels like they were made to piss me off specifically. Like, they were like infiltrating my nightmares and being like, you know what, let's fuck him up. Let's fucking make a game that pisses him off. Because all these design elements are just so counterintuitive. They're so artificial that for me, I just don't get it. The awful enemy placements, the fucking millions fucking snipers you have everywhere, the like rage bait, and like the stupid fucking enemies just ganging up on you and hiding, and just so many traps and shit. Like, we also had that in Dark Souls and whatnot, but like the difference is that it was well designed compared to fucking Nioh 2. Because in Nioh 2, just go, like, again, go watch my streams or whatever, but like, it is so bad. It is so fucking bad, this fucking cheese grater slide design, that I just don't get it. I literally don't understand how any of this is supposed to be fun. And yes, I am pissed off. I am very angry, as you can see here. Yeah, crashing out, if you will. But again, I hate normie games, and yeah, it just pisses me off. I'm not one of them. So when I'm complaining about these, trust me, it is because it is genuinely fucking dog shit. Maybe some people like it, you know, maybe some people like cock and bull torture, because some people are going to be apologists no matter what you do, and no matter how well you provide your points. So, you know, fair enough. But at the same time, I do believe like they have to understand that this design philosophy, these enemy placements, getting fucking one shot, is not a fun way to make a video game. And there's a reason why these games usually don't sell. You know, these games being bad games. games that people don't like because they're fucking bad. This is like the fucking reason why these games aren't popular, because they're not fucking good. There's a reason, guys. And I think we have to start understanding, and I think we have to start talking about garbage, because some people like garbage, but some people don't. And I think that's fair. So maybe the game isn't for me. Maybe that's my biggest takeaway. But at the same time, I cannot help but play it. I stopped playing it for the first time, and for my second time, I am committed to finishing it. Because I have ego, I have a proud issue, and I will not be satisfied until I beat it. So for me, yeah, I guess I am into cock and ball torture. I didn't know I was. But here I am, playing this fucking dogshit game, which is worse than the first one. So, yeah, I just don't get it. And what pisses me off the most is the fact that even with everything that I've said, I'm still gonna play it. Because I have something to prove now, and I have something to prove, and that proveness is me beating it. Beating this fucking dogshit game, and prove to it that it's not well designed or difficulty, it's just artificial difficulty, so... yeah, not a good game. And going back to the whole Dark Souls design of it, I don't understand why fucking video games are trying so fucking hard to implement stamina bars. They're so hard trying to implement fucking RPG Dark Souls type elements and stats, and I don't understand why these games are just so fucking derivative and so fucking redundant in its designs and elements that just piss me off. To me, if Nioh was more of a linear type game, let's say Devil May Cry, I think this game would have been much better. Because I've heard people talk about the design and then being like, oh, you're not supposed to enjoy the story. You're not supposed to enjoy the side quests that are just reused bullshit, where they reuse the same enemies 50 million times, and a lot of the times they even reuse the same locations. So I love reusing content that I've already played through 5 fucking times. So, yeah, I people just talk about these points like they don't understand what they said is hypocritical. It's literally everything they're defending is bad. They're literally confirming every single one of my elements, and as a result it leads me to believe that this game would have been much better if it decided to be a more traditional hack and slash game. With a jump button, with no stamina, and with a better level design that actually allows for a good story, good character arcs, and focused, linear gameplay. I think the game would have benefited from it because I feel like this game stumbles onto itself. It feels like it's taking 1 step forward, 3 steps back because of all of the mechanics of the Souls-like tacked-on systems, and because of everything that they're trying to add onto this game that just doesn't mesh well and doesn't benefit what I really love about it, which is the gameplay. So, yeah. For me, Nioh 1 had a lot of potential. I saw the light, but Nioh 2 decided to snuff out that light and become mediocre. And I hate the fact that this is more akin to cock and ball torture. And for some reason I'm into that, apparently. Because I keep playing it, so... yeah. So for me, Nioh 1 is a 7 out of 10 game, or a 6 out of 10. Very bland, mediocre, but with some good designs that I was hoping to see improved. And Nioh 2 is the disappointment, middle child that just shits on every single thing that was great about its previous thing. It just takes a step back and a downgrade over everything the first one did well. Because the first one has a better story, much better environments, and overall design and gameplay is much more fun. And as a result, the difficulty is also much more fun. So, yeah. I don't like this game. Piece of shit game. And if anything that I said pisses you off, despite me being very rational and reasonable, well, then suck my dick. Okay? If you don't like it, suck my dick. Leave your dislike and your angry comment and leave. Because for some reason, you can't have these types of conversations without someone getting angry. You can't have these debates or arguments in a good civilized manner, because if you post this on Reddit, no one is going to watch. You're gonna get your account banned for some reason, because freedom of speech is dead online. On Twitter, you get ignored, and the only people watching this are fucking bots data scraping my data. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I took that off my chest. I'm very glad I took this off my chest, so... yeah. and if you are one of those 1% people who decided to engage with my points, I'm very curious to see what you think about it, because maybe I'm missing something and I'm desperately in needs, and I desperately want to be proven wrong. So yeah, goodbye. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. I am planning on like making maybe more content, more videos, put a bit more effort. In this video, I didn't put as much effort because like I don't think people are gonna watch it. It's a negative topic, and people are gonna have an emotional reaction. And when that happens, then it doesn't matter what your point is, if it's good or bad. Then people are just gonna not like you, and they're gonna like ignore you, like based on like principle or ego or whatever. So I do understand no one is gonna watch, but I would be very interested in hearing your opinions. And again, if you like my content, just please go ahead and like and subscribe. And yeah. Also, if you wanna rage at me and call me stupid, then yeah, I also do streams for YouTube. Right now I'm playing through Nioh 2 to completion, and yeah, maybe that interests you, and you wanna see me die to release your stress from this video. But in any case, yeah, please go ahead and do that so I don't have to be a wage slave anymore. Goodbye.